Good morning, everybody. It's October. I can't believe where summer's gone. We've had summer. Today it's a little cool. And one of my favorite guys ever is HOsea Rosenberg. And he has Blackbelly and Santo. And I guess, first of all, good morning, HOsea.
Good morning. So happy to be on with you again.
Always. But you have so much. You have an incredible restaurant. Santo's is also incredible. But then you keep doing things that are so charitable. You were a hero for me at the food bank. You have Sophie's neighborhood, which to me is the most amazing thing and wonderful. And you have Blackbelly doing another charity event on the 16th for Parkinson's. So God bless you. And I think we're going to talk about everything, but you have these events going on. Is it each couple of months?
Yeah, so it's called Bites with Butchers, and we launched this in our new Denver store, our Blackbelly Denver, which is a much smaller version of Blackbelly than what we have in Boulder. The Denver store, which is on 41st and Tennyson, is very small, and it's more of a deli. We're only open for breakfast and lunch, and then we sell all of our meats out of there. We do a lot of curing, and at the helm is Kelly Kawachi, who has been working for us for like 7 or 8 years now. She's just an amazing powerhouse butcher. She's actually on vacation in Japan right now, but she'll be back in time for this event. And so we used to do this before the pandemic in our Boulder store, where we would have the butcher and the rancher, whoever raised the meat, there. And we would break down an animal or a section of animal, and then we'd make all these little delicious bites to go with it. So we relaunched this program, and now we're calling it Bites with Butchers in Denver. And now we have a charitable component attached to it each time. So the first time we did it was Sophie's Neighborhood, which is our charity. We did, sorry, I'm having like all these like brain fogs this morning, but we did it with, I forget what they're called, but it's the Asian women's organization. It'll come to me in a second. So for the last one, and then now we're doing the Davis Finney organization. So we're doing Parkinson's, and with Buckner Family Ranch. So we're going to be doing lamb, which you love when we make it.
Do I really tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth? I am not a fan of lamb. And you did a lamb. I don't like raw meat. Lamb's okay, yes, I am going to this event because after your lamb, I will eat lamb anytime you make it.
Well, that's lovely to hear. Well, unfortunately, I'll be with my mom for her 80th birthday this time around. So Josh,
Kelly can make it.
our culinary director, will be doing the food, but Kelly will be there breaking down the lamb and doing her whole thing. So it's going to be really fun.
Is it sold out?
It is sold out.
Oh, well, we'll tell you about that one. And what's the next one?
I think we're taking a break because that would put us into December, which during the holidays is just really hard to kind of promote these events. So we're going to take a beat, and then we're going to announce a whole new roster of events once we get into the new year. So we actually don't have the next one booked.
Okay.
We will announce that, and I'll make sure that you're aware of what we're up to for that.
Okay. And I mean, you can't have too many there because the place is small.
Correct. We cap it at 20 people. Yeah, it's really fun. It's intimate. It's really cool. The butchery demo is always exciting to watch. Like, it's just really cool to see Kelly do that. It's like an art. And then the food's always delicious. So we have a really good time with this.
Well, I can hardly wait. And obviously, to anybody who is watching, I will do a full thing on it anyway, because it's always fun to have people to share with. So tell me, what is Blackbelly up to for the fall season now?
Okay, well, other than the Bites with Butchers, we have a thing called Thirsty Thursdays that we do here in Boulder. And the next one is on the 7th of November, and that'll be partnered with Ironton. They are a distillery in Denver. It's a similar thing, but in this case, we work with a spirits professional. And so they come and talk about how they make all their spirits, and we do the food component of it. We are also on the 11th of November celebrating our 10-year anniversary, which is a huge milestone for any restaurant. We're very excited. So we've invited a bunch of our old chefs that worked with us when we first opened to come back and hang out with us in the kitchen and we're doing a tasting menu event that night. We're offering wine pairings or non-alcoholic pairings to go with the food. But we're essentially going to do a spin on our opening menu, which looking back 10 years ago, those prices were quite a bit lower than they are now. Unfortunately, it's just the world we're in. Things cost more, but we're going to do a kind of reimagined opening menu from Blackbelly from 10 years back and have a big party. So the 11th, which is technically on a Monday, will be sort of a little small party for all the people that were involved when we opened, including our investors and our opening team. And then that following Saturday, which is I have to look at my calendar because for some reason brain isn't working today. So November 16th, Saturday, will be a big event at the restaurant, and it's a ticketed event where you can essentially it would be like a New Year's or a Valentine's or some, we're creating our own holiday here. And it's going to be like I think a 5 or 6 course menu, and it promises to be really delicious. So that's a big thing going on at Blackbelly.
On the 11th, it's your old chefs. On the 16th, is it your old chefs?
16th is our old chefs. Yeah, the 11th is more of an internal, just a little thank you party for, like a invite only kind of thing. The
Okay,
6th,
none of us are going to that.
right? And it's a Monday. We don't expect people to like drop everything and go big on a Monday.
My favorite.
Saturday, that's when we'll celebrate.
Okay, and how much are tickets?
I have to look. I apologize. I didn't bring my notes with me, but
you could sell it.
it's online. If you go to our website at blackbelly.com, there's a link to that event, and the ticket price is listed. And I don't remember the number we came up with, but it does include tax, tip, and everything, and all in. So you just buy your tickets and you just show up. You don't have to bring your wallet after that. So then the next following week is our 7-year anniversary at Santo, which is also really cool. Now 7 isn't as big of a number, so we're just going to go. We'll have a couple.
It's a very lucky number.
Yeah, very excited about that.
And what day of the week is that?
So that's on a Monday as well. So that's the 18th, which is that'll technically be our 7-year mark for Santo.
And is that one a ticketed event?
No, we're just celebrating that week. We'll run some specials and whatnot, but we're not making as big of a deal out of it. Usually with restaurant anniversaries, it's more special to the people at the restaurant than it is to the general public. But it's still something to celebrate and be excited about.
And as opposed to Blackbelly, which is just contemporary fabulous, Santo does a little bit more Southwestern.
Yeah, northern New Mexican to be exact. I was born and raised in Taos, New Mexico, so I wanted to celebrate the food that I was raised on with this restaurant. So that's
I have never been to Santo, and
well, you need to come. I think you would really like it.
I know I would.
It's a very, very popular spot. It's very busy, and in fact, we just represented Santo down in New Mexico. I just got back from the Santa Fe Wine and Chili Fiesta, which was a whole week of celebration of green chili and wine. And that was a lot of fun. So we did a couple events there and represented Santo, and just got back, and we brought Sophie with us, and she helped plate up some of the food and really got into the spirit of things. She had an apron on and she was walking around giving people samples, and she had a really fun time down in Santa Fe. So we had a great time down there.
Well, we'll have to tell people who Sophie is, so you
Mm.
know about Sophie's neighborhood. But before you get to it, menu-wise at Blackbelly, I know you change all the time. So are you going into the fall food now?
Yes, 100%. So we're really getting into, we always have all of our meats that the butchers do, and those cuts rotate, but we really celebrate vegetables at the restaurant as well. So now we're getting more into the fall flavors, a lot of apples and pears and cabbage and Brussels sprouts and root vegetables and things like that. Things that are, we're kind of getting away from tomatoes and all the
That's
green
okay.
stuff.
It's time.
Yes, yes. So we work with a number of local farmers, and so we just kind of find out what they've got and we lean into that hard. So that's what we're doing now.
Okay, well, because this is squash, and if I
Mm.
see one more pumpkin something latte, which I don't like. I love the others, real food, but the latte stuff is not.
Yeah. It's not even made out of pumpkin. It's just the spices, which you can get all year long. So yeah,
It's
we're definitely doing squash. We have a lot of squash on the menu now, and getting, it's turning into soup season. So especially at our market, we have a lot of great soups on the menu now, and really get into that bone broth.
quick question. When I or people go, because I am, this is a personal question, frankly, to a Blackbelly event for Parkinson's. I know you have all the wonderful things to sell in the refrigerator part. Do you put your soups in there for that night and things too?
Yeah, so if you come at any point for this event or just normal service,
Yeah.
when you come, we have a lot of soups for sale that are corded up, so you can take home and
Well,
heat
that's
it.
what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, that's how I cook at home.
yeah, so you can always come in and get those things from us, like kind of like take and make items where you just have to heat it up.
Perfect. It sounds wonderful. Now, before we leave, it's Blackbelly and Santo. I'm ready to go to both right now. And I am well, on my way to some. And I will be at that event for Parkinson's. My husband did have Parkinson's. So that's a charity, one of them near and dear. But you just had something exciting happen when you said Sophie. Not everybody knows Sophie and Sophie's neighborhood. And you just had a very touching thing happen. Tell us the story before you leave.
Okay, so first of all, just to give a little background, Sophie is our 7-year-old daughter, and she was born with an extremely rare condition called MCTO. It stands for multicentric carpotarsal osteolysis, and it's presented with the breakdown of the joint bones. All of her bones in her body are affected, but it really affects the joints first. So she's losing all of the small joint bones in her wrists and her ankles, and it's affecting her knees, elbows, her neck, everything. Essentially, her body is breaking down the bone material faster than it regenerates it. So it leaves the bones they almost look like on an x-ray, like they've been like a candy that's been sucked away. So that presents obviously a lot of problems for her. Her mobility is tough. Her feet aren't growing. They haven't really grown in years. So she's got these tiny little feet, but the rest of her body's growing. And it also affects the kidneys. So we started Sophie's Neighborhood when we found out about her disease, because there was no treatment and no cure and no real research to speak of, other than a couple scientists had discovered this gene that causes it. So our foundation, Sophie's Neighborhood, and it can be found on the website, sophiesneighborhood.org. We are a 501c3 organization, and our mission is to find a cure or proper treatment for MCTO. And all of the money raised goes to medical research and scientific research. So we have raised quite a bit of money, and we have a number of research programs in effect now. We're doing a lot with local scientists and doctors, but also international teams. My wife kind of runs the organization, and she's got an entire team of people that work with us that really push for something. And so we've made a few steps in the right direction. We've got Sophie on a couple medications that help. And we've connected with a number of other families out there and we're trying to assist them as well. But really, we haven't found something that will stop this disease yet. We don't expect to cure Sophie entirely, but we just want to stop it so her body continues to work and function somewhat normally. She's still on her feet right now. She wears braces on her legs and her hands, and she needs help with a lot of things. Just today I brought her to school, and her lunch bag has things that are easy to open because her hands don't have a lot of strength. So we have to think about all of those things. Anyhow, we do a lot of fundraising, and we do a lot of things to help with awareness and fundraising. And I was invited to be on Chopped earlier this year, so I competed on the show. It's the second time I've done it, and this was a tournament where the winner would win money and they would donate money to the charity. So it was $25,000 for the winner and $25,000 for the winner's charity of choice. Unfortunately, I came in second place. I didn't quite win the whole thing. It was really close. But Sarah, the winners, she offered to donate her portion of the winnings, the charitable portion, to Sophie's neighborhood. So it was a really magical moment. It aired on Food Network this past Tuesday, so just a couple of days ago. But if you go to Food Network, I'm sure you can see the rerun. It's called Chopped Legends. So everybody that was invited had won a prior episode or a prior tournament. So Sarah and I did it, and she ended up winning, but it was a really cool moment. Everyone on set was like crying, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful moment. Her name's Sarah Bradley. She's out of Kentucky. She's got a restaurant called Freight House, and she's competed on Top Chef and a few other shows as well, and just a wonderful human being. And it was just a really magical moment because I talked about Sophie's neighborhood a lot, and I was really trying to win for her. Doesn't always work out the way you want it to work out, but in this case, I feel like everybody won.
Okay, and if I'm correct, I can go on Instagram.
Yes. So if you go to Instagram and follow Sophie's Neighborhood,
Okay,
or you can follow me, Chef Hosea, but we always try to push people to Sophie. We post lots of clips and updates and all of the events that are happening, but we have a clip from the show where they announce the winner, but then Sarah offers up her portion, and it's just a really sweet moment, and everyone's crying, and it's
I'm
happy.
crying. I haven't seen
Yeah.
it.
And we watched it together as a family, me, Sophie, and Lauren, and we got to see it happen live on TV. And it was we were just all hugging and crying, and it was just, she knows what's going on. Sophie knows what she has, and she explains it to people. But it's still it's hard. It sucks for her. She's different, and she's slower, and she's in pain, and that's really tough as a school kid. She didn't do anything to deserve this. She does her best, but things are hard for her, and it's really hard for her to get through just a day of school without a lot of pain and struggle. And so everything I do in my life now is to try to help her.
Yeah, it's horrible for the child, and I'm sorry, as a parent, there's nothing worse. And I think you and Lauren are incredible. I think Sophie's incredible. And I guess you are, from what you say to me all the time, you're really watching things not go well. Obviously, they're going where, I mean, it's horrible, but you two are just brilliant saints. I mean, God love you. And, but we all can only do what we can do, and hopefully support Sophie's neighborhood, support all the charities. And you do much for other people too. So with the food bank, I totally support Sophie. And Parkinson's and all these things, there's lots of things that affect us that you do.
Well, and that's the best thing a chef and a restaurateur can do, is to be involved in these events that help the public. And I can raise a lot more money cooking my food and doing a charitable event than I can just trying to give my own money. And of course, we give our own money too, but we can raise so much money at these charity events. In fact, there's another one happening on the 1st of November for Ignite Adaptive Sports. They're based out of here in Boulder. They're up at Eldora Ski Area. and they're a nonprofit program where they have all these instructors that teach people with disabilities how to ski.
Oh,
And
God.
Sophie has learned to ski because of these people, and they go up with her and they help her a lot. They'll put her in the sled to get her up, and then they show her how to ski, and they give her some adaptive equipment that helps her kind of stay upright. And we just love these people. So they just finished a new facility up there. They were working out of a small trailer on the ski slopes, and now they have a actual building. So we actually cater the event, but we also support it and help raise money, and it's a really fun event. So we'll be involved in the Ignite event as well. So a lot of charity fundraisers happening right now.
I guess so. And you are there for them. And I hope everybody is there for you. You and Lauren are wonderful people. Sophie, precious, adorable, and very special. And for all the information, tell them how to get in touch with you.
So, both of our restaurants have websites. So it's santoboulder.com and blackbelly.com. The charity is sophiesneighborhood.org. And we just love it if people follow us on social media and support us any way they can. And we're always posting the next thing and the next event that we're involved with. And that's the best way to keep it, keep in touch with us. You can sign up for our newsletter at Sophie's Neighborhood and with our restaurants. And of course, they're all sort of tied in together. So a lot of the things we do at the restaurants support Sophie's Neighborhood, among all of these other organizations that we feel are worthy. And we get asked as a restaurant, we get asked to do a lot of things, and we can't say yes to everything.
You have to do what you do.
But anything involving children, rare disease, cancer, and hunger, those are usually the top ones that we fight for and we help. And we do as much as we can.
You do more than anybody, but that's fabulous. And if you are watching, please like and subscribe to the Gabb. That's got 2 B's in it / Gabby Gourmet. On YouTube, I'm just plain old Gabby Gourmet. On Facebook, Instagram, and you'll see all of these things. And as much as Hosea puts up, I put up with it. And you are fabulous. And I can't thank you enough personally for being a wonderful human being, supporting everything and being there. Much love.
Well, right back at you, Gabby. You're a legend, and I'm just honored to be sharing the screen with you right now.
I love you all. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye, sweet.